So the next topic of key concept of object-oriented language is dynamic binding. Dynamic binding is define the behavior or the execution process of your data as well as function both. When your data or function or when two different data or when two different function are connected with each other or relate to each other process is known as dynamic binding. Uh, we can also say that when execution of one program depends on the execution of other program is known as dynamic binding. For example, if you represent the marks or the result of any student, you need to collect all the uh, marks of the related subject, including their student details. Suppose the marks of a student and a student details are two different functions, but the marks of a student are always depend on the behavior of the details only. So in that case, both are in a binding form. So you can say when a part is connected or uh, located with the another part of the same program is known as dynamic binding. In this image you can see model and view are connected with each other, but here model represent the combination of codes, their parts and function, whereas view define the combination of parts and function in a form of model if the model is capable to perform that particular action which actually that user wants. So dynamic binding means when a part is connected with a function to perform some action. If a part and function are not connected with each other, it cannot provide a proper result. The next key concept of object oriented is message passing. All objects are the memory part of your member function, where all the messages related to your function are connected or communicated with your object only. All information, for information you can only uh, take the format of function, or you can say function is the best way through which we can pass the messages or pass the action in the form of message. So message passing is also a feature of the object oriented language. The next one is reusability, which represent the feature or the concept of inheritance also. Reusability means when you write the code once and use them again and again. आप किसी एक कोड को एक बार ही लिखो और उसे बार बार यूज करो, जैसे कि अगर आप कोई कोड यूज करते हो किसी सॉफ्टवेयर के लिए, ठीक है, तो वो कोड आप एक टाइम लिखते हो और उस सॉफ्टवेयर को आप बार बार अब बारी बारी से अपडेट करते हो विद द न्यू वर्जन. इन दैट केस वो कोड रीयूजेबल होता है बिकॉज आप उस कोड को अगेन एंड अगेन कंटिन्यूसली यूज कर रहे हो. ठीक है, तो ऐसे कोड्स अपडेट होते हैं बट ऐसे कोड वापस से रीजनरेट नहीं होते हैं. सो इट when you use the concept of reusability, it provides a flexible time limit for us बिकॉज एक कोड को लिखने में जो आपका टाइम लिमिट है वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा सेव हो जाता है. So reusability means when you write the code once and use them again and again. And in object-oriented language, the key concept of reusability is always denoted by the feature of inheritance only. In this image, you can see we have two different class, that is class A and class B. We can use the format of class A and class B inside the class C. So we don't need to put much of the code in class C, because uh, we can collect the code from the class A as well as class B both. तो इसकी वजह से आपको क्लास सी में बहुत सारे कोड लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, एंड यू कैन एग्जीक्यूट दैट प्रोग्राम वेरी इजीली. So this is the concept of inheritance. We can also see the example of a student. Suppose we have a student with their entire code. Suppose the class name is a student detail. अगर class name is student detail है, then we have the properties, that is the name of a student, the role of a student, and the address of a student. And when we collect these all data in a particular form, suppose करो कि हम उसके डिटेल्स को कहीं एंटर करते हैं और सेव करते हैं, दैट इज गेट डेटा. मान लीजिए कि द प्रोसीजर वेयर वी कैन कलेक्ट द डेटा ऑफ ए स्टूडेंट इज नोन एज गेट डेटा. सो द फंक्शन नेम इज गेट डेटा. नाउ द नेक्स्ट क्लास इज क्लास टेस्ट. अब अगर किसी उसी स्टूडेंट का जिसका डिटेल आपने यहाँ पे कलेक्ट किया है, आप उसी स्टूडेंट के टेस्ट को यूज़ कर रहे हो to promote in the next class. In that case, यहाँ पे we have a next class named test. ठीक है, and the property name is college name. obvious सी बात है, किस कॉलेज में वो टेस्ट दे रहा है, कौन से सब्जेक्ट के टेस्ट दे रहे हैं, टेस्ट के मार्क्स क्या हैं. अब ऑब्वियस सी बात है, जब प्रॉपर्टीज़ ये हैं तो ये प्रॉपर्टीज़ से रिलेटेड एक्शन भी आप कहीं ना कहीं सेव रखोगे. आप मार्क्स, टेस्ट, सब्जेक्ट के नेम और मार्क्स, ये दोनों कहाँ इंसर्ट कर रहे हो, एक अलग डेटा में, दैट इज गेट डेटा. सी द फंक्शन नेम इज डिफरेंट हियर. ये जी कैपिटल है, सो एज वी नो कोई भी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज केस सेंसिटिव होता है, एंड गेट डेटा इन upper case and get data in lower case are different with each other. The next class is class result. Here we have three class: student details, class test and result. Result का property है college name, again test subject, again test marks. अब यहाँ पर मैंने इसे वापस से इंसर्ट नहीं करके कहाँ से ये सारे डेटा कलेक्ट किए, टेस्ट क्लास से. ठीक है, एंड उसके बाद क्या किए, इन सारे डेटास को एक्शन परफॉर्म किया गेट डेटा का. मतलब कि वी कैन यूज द गेट डेटा मैथड फ्रॉम द क्लास टेस्ट, एंड वी कैन यूज द गेट मार्क्स which is a function of class result and get result. Okay, you can use any one of them. So here we can put the action of get data. Get data जैसे ही आप करोगे और get marks जैसे ही आप करोगे, तो यहाँ पर this is responsible to collect the information from this area. We need to be change the name of that data, that is G, which is collected by the class student details. Okay. So this is the exact benefit of your inheritance or reusability format. The concept of inheritance in object-oriented language consists different form, that is defined as the category of inheritance. We can also, the concept of the category of inheritance is not inside the C++ only, it is also available in Java. The first is single inheritance, where one class can exchange their data with another class only. Multi-level inheritance, where one class exchange their data with other and other class exchange their data with the third one. Hierarchical inheritance, where all the data exchange in a tree form. Multiple inheritance, where multiple class are connected together to share the data with their children class. Hybrid inheritance, the combination of more than one inheritance, and multipath inheritance, where you can share your data with in different path, known as multipath inheritance. So this is the general information of your inheritance. Now the next key concept, the next topic of your key concept is polymorphism. Polymorphism is a term which actually defines the method of overloading or the concept of overloading uh, with the functions or the method of your class or multiple classes. The main definition of polymorphism is single interface for similar serving method. Single interface for similar purpose serving method. Okay, it comes from a Greek word. Actually, it comes from different Greek word, that is poly and morphism, which means multiple action. Polymorphism provide the similar purpose, or you can say we can perform multiple action with a single part. Okay, for example, जैसे कि किसी कार का गियर एक ही होता है बट इट कैन परफॉर्म 4 or 3 different एक्शन जिसे जब हम व्हेन वी जनरली यूज टू चेंज द मोशन ऑफ आवर कार. अगर आप कार के गियर की बात करते हो तो इट डजेंट वर्क इन डिफरेंट पार्ट्स, और अलग अलग गियर को चेंज करने के लिए अलग अलग गियर पार्ट्स में नहीं लगे होते हैं, एक ही गियर अलग अलग एक्शन परफॉर्म करते हैं. सो एक कंटेंट या एक पार्ट से आप मल्टीपल एक्शन परफॉर्म कर सकते हो, एंड द कॉन्सेप्ट इज नोन एज पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म. जब कोई एक पार्ट मल्टीपल एक्शन को परफॉर्म करता है, ओके, तो दैट कॉन्सेप्ट इज नोन एज ओवरलोडिंग ऑल्सो. So the term overloading is actually connected with the concept of polymorphism. You can see the flow chart of polymorphism. Object connected with a similar purpose serving method which has only one interface. सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक इंटरफेस होना चाहिए, लेकिन एक्शंस मल्टीपल होते हैं, एंड दैट मल्टीपल एक्शंस इज नोन एज पॉलीमॉर्फिक मेथड, एंड दीज आर कंबाइंड विद द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म ओनली. The next is constructor. This is the feature of your object oriented concept, but this is not the feature of it actually partially denoted with the object oriented concept as a key concept. So constructor is nothing but a method which is just similar to the name of their class. It's just not similar with as a name of the class only. When you call the object, it is automatically in a default form. And as your function, class doesn't consist in a return type. It means uh, before the name of your constructor, you cannot put the name of your data type. When you talk about constructor, it automatically dropped by compiler when an object is created. Constructor has also different category defined as default constructor, copy constructor, and parameterized constructor. Default and copy constructor are also related with the Java language, but uh, default and parameterized constructor are also related with the Java language, but in C++ we have 3 different category of constructor, that is default, copy, and parameterized. Apart from this, we can also create a overloading for the constructor. So it has the 4 it has the fourth category, that is constructor overloading or multiple constructor. The next concept of object oriented language is delegation. Delegation and inheritance are much more similar from each other, but when you talk about inheritance, it always represent or has a relationship between the class and their data member. But if you talk about delegation, it always consists has a sorry when you talk about inheritance, it always consists kind of relationship, and if we talk about inheritance, so inheritance define the kind of relationship, and uh, delegation define the has a relationship. In this image you can see class A, class B shared their all feature with the class C using their own object. Here class C cannot use their own object for the sharing purpose, whereas class A inside the class C an object of class A is created, and inside the class C an object of class B is also created. In that case, all the content or all the properties of class B is connected with the class C, and all the properties of class A are connected with the class C also. When you use these type of feature, or when you use these type of content to connect all the classes together, is known as has a relationship. And when a has a relationship occur between the class or inside the program, is known as delegation. So this is the difference of your inheritance and delegation. You can see in this image, class A related or shared their all properties with class B, and so all the properties which are in class A are directly or indirectly connected with class B. Here you don't need to be use the object of class A inside the class B. You can just you need to be create a object of class B, and you can call the content of class A by the object of class B also. But here you can see we need to be create the object of both classes, because these are not connected with each other, so they can share their information with the class C or the third class by their object itself. So this is the difference between kind of relationship, that is inheritance, and has a relationship, that is delegation.